A lot of people do not know, no? But Inday Sara actually fought terrorists in Davao City. At nahuli niya yung terorista. Nahuli niya yung terorista, na-corner niya yung terorista nagpakamatay na lang. She makes fair decision, timely decision. Hindi na negotiate si Inday. Wala siyang pakialam kahit sa mga kaibigan ng tatay niya. Kahit yung mga incorruptible si Inday. I'm so sorry to say.
Yung mga policies or mga nagawa niya during vice presidency na worthy of praise naman.
She was able to create satellite offices in the first 30 days of her of her becoming a vice president. She was able to create satellite offices of the office of the vice president, making humanitarian services of the vice president, of the office of the vice president, accessible to everyone. Curriculum, and she was able to strengthen the curriculum by creating the Matatag program na binago na ngayon ni Sani Angara ang pangalan pero hindi niya binago yung output. Yung Matatag curriculum na pinafollow ngayon ng DepEd, Matatag curriculum pa rin yun pero binago na nila ang pangalan.
Well, thank you for yung parang putting or sa pagpaparealize sa akin kung ano naman yung perspective on the other side. Okay, so thank you. Pero may tanong po sana ako since malapit na yung election, no? 2028. And obviously, I'm still on the opposing side ng kung sino yung iboboto ko. Can you, since nag-pronounce na magtatakbo si Sara, can you give insights to me kung bakit siya yung dapat manalo?
Because she's a good manager. Inday Sara is a good manager. She zeroed out insurgency in Davao City. She was actually, a lot of people do not know, no? But Inday Sara actually fought terrorists in Davao City. At nahuli niya yung terorista. Nahuli niya yung terorista, na-corner niya yung terorista nagpakamatay na lang. Yun yung nagpasabog nung yun yung nagpasabog nung Rojas Night Market na bomba. Nahuli nila yung terorista dyan. Okay? Tapos ngayon, yung terorista ay magpahuli, nagpakamatay na lang siya. But Inday Sara was able to pin that terrorist down. Name me any local government officer, any local government official na kayang manghuli ng terorista. Si Inday Sara lang ang kayang makagawa niyan. At also at the same time, Inday Sara,
How about policies, economic policies na possible niyang gawin kapag
Yeah, I'm going there. And this is actually a litany of Inday Sara's achievement. Inday Sara, as mayor of Davao City, was able to zero out the debt of Davao City and at the same time, clock in Davao City as one of the richest city in the Philippines. That's a very, very difficult, feat to achieve. Wala kang utang, at the same time, mayaman ka. Okay? Ang lala niyan. Okay? Ang lala niyang achievement na yan. And Davao City, Davao City, when you talk about Davao City, this is the biggest city in the entire Philippines, ha? Ang Davao City is 20 times of Metro Manila. Napakalaki ng Davao City. Ang laki ng land area nito. Parang, hindi ito maliit na syudad. Okay? Napakalaki ng Davao City. Inday Sara was able to zero out the debt of Davao City and at the same time made Davao City to be one of the top, to be the most competitive city in the Philippines. She was able to make Davao City as one of the richest city in the Philippines. Inday Sara was able to forge trade agreements with different countries for the agricultural products of the Davao region as well. Mayor pa lang siya niyan. There were billions of trade contracts that were forged by Inday as a Davao City mayor. Okay? Inday Sara also is big on education. She strengthened the special education system in Davao City. She actually expanded the yung special special education. Tama, basta yung para dun sa mga batang may autism, para dun sa mga batang may physical deformities, ganyan.
Yes.
Yung mga may special needs para sa pag-aaral. Inday Sara was actually a forerunner of that.
Okay.
Grabe yung pagpapalawak na ginawa ni Inday para diyan. Kaya nga 'di ba si Jam Magno? Laki pasasalamat din kay dahil hindi, medical data yung kay Jamal. Medical assistance yata yung kay Jamal. May-extend ng Davao City. And among other things, marami pa mga bagay. So, actually, Inday is is a very good manager. And she decides timely. She makes fair decision, timely decision. Hindi na negotiate si Inday, wala siyang pakialam kahit sa mga kaibigan ng tatay niya, kahit yung mga incorruptible si Inday, I'm so sorry to say. Kaya nga ilang taon niyo nang binibira si Inday tungkol sa corruption, wala kayong makitang solid na corruption issue against Inday Sara. Ayun. Davao City is not the largest city in the Philippines, FYI. Ano yung largest? Ano yung largest city in the Philippines? Largest city in the Philippines. In terms of size, in terms of land size, in terms of land
How about
area,
ano
Davao
naman?
City. Davao City ang talaga. Davao City talaga. Followed by Puerto Princesa and Zamboanga City.
Last question po siguro.
Ayun.
And since nabigyan niyo na po yung parang mga policies niya in Davao, how about yung mga policies or mga nagawa niya during vice presidency na worthy of praise naman?
She was able to create satellite offices in the first 30 days of her of her becoming a vice president. She was able to create satellite offices of the office of the vice president, making humanitarian services of the vice president, of the office of the vice president, accessible to everyone. That's a huge
Okay.
achievement actually, sa totoo lang. Okay? Kasi yung bagay na yan, OVP as a humanitarian office, it started with naman talaga. Actually with Jojo Binay parang nag-aayu-ayuda na sila dyan sa mga nangihingi ng tulong, etc. Leni Robredo increased the humanitarian services extended by the Office of the Vice President. Inday Sara rationalized it, made it accessible to everyone. So hindi lang yung mga taga Manila ang makakahingi ng agarang tulong sa Office of the Vice President, but people from different parts of the country, they would be able to go to the Office of the Vice President and see the things that they can avail. Ganon. I think that is some serious managerial shit yung pinakita ni Inday Sara dyan yung pagiging accessible ng services ng OVP to everyone. That's a very, very, very good move on the part of Inday. It's really a good managerial decision. Hindi ko rin alam ba't hindi naisip ng mga dating vice president, but it was a good one. And as a DepEd secretary, napakadami rin niyang nagawa. Inday Sara facilitated the transition from online to face-to-face class. At kung maaalala nyo, hindi tayo masyadong namroblema dito. Okay? Now, people kasi are not appreciative kasi hindi naging issue. Pero sa totoo lang, mahirap gawin yan. Ngayon, hindi kayo nagka-problema sa transition sa DepEd ng face-to-face from online to face-to-face kasi maganda yung transition na ginawa ni Inday. Maganda yung transition program na ginawa niya. People are not grateful because they have no comparison. Kasi iniisip nila, baka naman anyone can do it ganyan. But I doubt. I doubt anyone can just do what she did pagdating dun sa transition ng online to face to face kasi talagang mahirap yan, but dyan talaga magaling si Inday. Inday was also able to address many issues of teachers, public school teachers, at ito ay naka-receive ng bonggang-bonggang feedback sa lahat ng mga I came from from a family of school teachers, of public school teachers, JCK, so I know all the initiatives that Inday Sara did as a DepEd secretary despite limited time. Okay? Inday Sara was also able to review the curriculum, the K-12 curriculum, a review that is already due for review. Pero si Inday Sara, dun sa maigsing time na DepEd Secretary siya, na-review niya ang K-12. And she, she reviewed the K-12 curriculum and she was able to strengthen the curriculum by creating the Matatag program. Na binago na ngayon ni Sani Angara ang pangalan pero hindi niya binago yung output. Yung Matatag curriculum na pinafollow ngayon ng DepEd, Matatag curriculum pa rin yun pero binago na nila ang pangalan. Pero it's still the same. Binago lang nila yung pangalan.
Okay.
Ayan. She was also able to set up she prioritized the welfare of the learners also. Si Inday, isa sa mga first na project niya is to create a hotline para dun sa mga estudyante na nagiging biktima ng online sexual exploitation. And this is also one of the reasons why she asked for confidential funds para sa DepEd. Kasi in case you do not know, JCK, the Philippines is number one, is the hotspot and the country with most victims of online sexual exploitation. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga kabataan natin dito sa Pilipinas ay biktima ng online sexual exploitation. Alam mo kung bakit? Kasi, kaya mahirap supuin ang online sexual exploitation dito sa Pilipinas dahil ang nagbebenta ng mga child pornography ay mga kamag-anak ng mga bata. So ngayon, ang mga bata hindi makapagsumbong. Paano ka magsusumbong? Tatay mo, uncle mo, tita mo yung nagpapapicture sa'yo ng kung ano-anong ginagawa mo at binibenta online. Ang mga mahahalay mong picture at kung ano-anong pinapagawa sa'yo mahahalay na gawain. But, okay, ano ba ang second home ng mga bata? School. So kung hindi ka makakapagsumbong sa household mo, makakapagsumbong ka sa teacher mo. Diba? So Inday Sara actually created a hotline. May pangalan niya, nakalimutan ko na lang yung niyan. But she created a hotline for children, for students and learners who are abused, who are victim of online sexual exploitation and other things. Kasi yung mga bata, kung ang abuso ay nanggagaling sa bahay nila, how do you expect na yung mga bata na yan makakapagsumbong sa kinauukulan? So tama lang yung ginawa ni Inday Sara na yun. I don't think any other secretary was able to think about that.